This is a networking lab demonstration. Welcome back to the AWS Private Network Demo Series. So far, I've created the VPC, Internet Gateway, subnets, and routing tables. Now I'm ready to put some actual compute power into the network. I'll do this by adding EC2 instances to the network. EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. It's one of the most commonly used services in AWS, and it allows you to launch virtual servers, known as instances. These instances can run your applications, websites, APIs, or any other workloads. Think of EC2 as your personal cloud-based computer that you can configure, start, stop, and scale on demand. In this video, I'll launch 2 EC2 instances into custom VPC environment I've created. The first instance will go into the public subnet and will be assigned a public IP address, making it accessible from the internet. The second instance will be placed in the private subnet, and it will not receive a public IP. This keeps it isolated from direct internet access. This is ideal for workloads that should remain internal. Okay, let's go ahead over to AWS and launch these 2 EC2 instances to further build out our AWS network. From the AWS console, I'll go into the EC2 services. As you can see, I have no instances running. I'll go ahead and launch an instance. This instance will be the public instance. That is, it will be located within the public subnet and be assigned a public IP address. I'll name the instance Public Instance. I'll use a Linux Ubuntu server 64-bit. It's covered in the free tier. Because I've been working in the AWS environment, I already have a key. If you don't already have a key, you will need to request one here. It is needed to SSH into your instance. I'll select the key I already created. Notice that for now, I'll only enable inbound SSH. Okay, this part is very important. It contains tons of configuration information. Here I'll specify both the VPC and subnet in which the instance will reside. I'll also create a security group and allow for SSH. I especially want to draw your attention to the fact that I enable public IP assignment for my public instance. This will not be done for the private instance. For security group, I'll name the group and provide a description. I'll take a moment to review my work. I don't need to provide any advanced configuration details. Everything looks fine. I'll click the button, Launch Instance. Great, I have a running public instance. I'll go through the same process for the private instance. However, this time, I won't enable the public IP assignment. I'll name the instance Private Instance. Associate it with the correct VPC and the private subnet. Hang on while I prepare to launch the private instance. I want you to note that this time I selected the private subnet instead of the public subnet. Also note that I will leave the public IP assignment as disable. I'm going to use the same security group. There's no need to create a new one since SSH is enabled under the group for inbound traffic. Great! The second instance has been launched. I now have one public instance with both a private IP address and a public IP address, and one private instance with only a private IP address. Here is the configured IP address for the private instance. It does not have a public IP address configured. Here is the configured IP address for the public instance. Both a private and public IP addresses are configured. Well, that's it. Join me in my next video as I continue to explore AWS private networking. Goodbye for now.